Hello and welcome back to Michael's Japan Diaries. So it's been a little while since last time, hasn't it? So I figured today I'd take the chance to just sit down here and, we could have a little cup of tea and have a talk. So if you don't already have a cup of tea, please go and get a cup of tea or coffee or whatever you prefer. Go ahead. I'll wait. You ready? Alright, let's go. So also this is a challenge of how much stuff can I hide in plain sight? First off, of course, as I said, it's tea time, so we can't just not have tea. So of course I have a lovely little teapot out here, and if you looked at the thumbnail you would have realized. There's a lovely little teapot here. Of course there's no tea in the teapot, so we're doing everything from scratch, making the tea. What's that? I have more things hidden in plain sight. Numatsu chat. Tea from Numatsu, but of course everything has to be Love Live collaborations, and the stuff that they can sell just because they put Love Live on it is impressive, and people will buy it. Let's make the tea, shall we? Oop. Yep, that's what you get when you just do it live. It's there's tea all over the place. It is fine. It's fine. We'll do like this. There. Out of sight. Out of existence. I don't think that's how it goes, but of course you can't make tea by just putting the leaves into the little. I should not have taken that out. You can't make tea just by putting the tea into the teapot. Of course, there's one other really important ingredient to make tea, and that's hot water. I do wonder if I have some hot water hidden here out of sight. What is this? Is this a kettle filled with hot water? What a convenience! Coincidence. A convenient coincidence. What a convenient coincidence. Pour the hot water into the teapot. Boop. And then we wait. Of course, you can't drink tea out of a teapot, so you also need a teacup. I do wonder if I have a teacup. Wait a second, what's this? It's a teacup! And, again, everything's merchandise. But of course, you can't just sit here having tea and, talking without anything to eat. I do wonder if I have anything to eat with it. What's this sitting here just out of sight? It's a giant plate with pink dots on it, but also, this is a melon pan, and it's a huge melon pan, and it's a maple syrup melon pan. They've got it here. I've got a little bakery department at the supermarket that I go to, and they have these melon pan, and they are absolutely delicious. So, a quick story, explanation, that's the word I'm looking for, of what a melon pan is, for those of you that do not know. Basically, it's just a white bun, and then there's this sugary biscuit kind of dough on top that gets really crispy, and then you just eat it like that. The reason it's called melon pan is because usually they make little lines on them so that it has a pattern that looks like a melon. It doesn't actually have anything to do with real melons, except some producers, some bakeries, and also at convenience stores sometimes, you can actually buy melon pan that has melon flavor in it, but the original ones don't have anything to do with melon. It's just because they look like melons. This one is a little bit more not really a nice pattern, but it's still pretty and golden and has maple syrup in it, and it's absolutely delicious. Also, this thing has 500 kilocalories in it. Not kidding. So this is my lunch for today, I guess. But I think the tea is just about ready. So let's pour some of that. You don't really say cheers with tea. tears. No, that's that doesn't sound good. Anyway, yeah. That is a good tea. That is a really nice tea. Anyway, let's crunch into the melon pan as well. It is almost sickeningly sweet, but it's so good. So, you can kind of see, trying to do this in a way that doesn't get melon pan all over the place, because one thing is like spilling the tea leaves, they're dry and you can just sweep them out of the way afterwards. But this is super sticky and greasy because that's how it works. But anyway, you can kind of see like there's this like soft bun kind of inside. Oops, that was probably really loud. There's like soft bun kind of stuff in the middle and then the biscuity dough on top, and it's crunchy and crispy. Also somewhere in here there's a little pocket of maple syrupy sugary filling, and it's delicious. Real good. Oh, there we go. See, there's a hole there. They're so good though. I try to not buy them often, but because of the fact that it's overly sugary and, you know, basically a whole meal in itself, but it's so good. I can't stop eating them. Oh man, the tea is so good. Anyway, that was a really long introduction to actually get to the point that matters. I want to talk to you guys. And yeah, it's been a little while since I last did a video. Since we last talked, or since I last talked to you, since the last status update that you got, I have started school. So quick refresher if you don't remember the whole story from when I moved. I came here to Fukuoka for the purpose of studying Japanese. Since the entire last year that I've been in Japan, I didn't have much chance to actually speak Japanese, and I wanted to, you know, learn the language and be able to properly live here, and there's not much you can actually do without Japanese, so I kind of need it. So I came here to Fukuoka to study Japanese, but the school, if I'm doing a 1 year course at the school that I go to, and obviously the 1 year course doesn't start at any random point that you want to, so I had to wait until October for it to begin, which it did just this week, and that has been great, like absolutely fantastic. Both like in terms of, you know, starting to learn some Japanese, but also, or continuing to learn some Japanese I suppose, but also in terms of actually having something to do. Some of my videos over the past 2 months might have been a little bit, well, not particularly exciting, and I've not been, you know, super energetic, and also you saw my apology video like a couple weeks back where I kind of explained the situation to you. Just sitting here for 2 months without any actual commitments is actually surprisingly difficult. I didn't think it would be a problem because hey, I can just sit here and watch videos, play some games and whatever, and just faff about doing nothing. And I could do that, and it felt like it was going okay, but it was just draining my motivation to do anything, and that's why I didn't really make many particularly great videos towards the end of that period. And yeah, it's been a lot of stuff to deal with, and I didn't realize actually until I started school this week how hard it actually was for me mentally to just have nothing to do. It was actually surprisingly difficult, and I only realized this after the fact, like once I started school here, like what a massive relief it was to just suddenly, you know, have something to do, like a reason to get up in the morning, a reason to do stuff. So Yeah, that's been really good. In terms of the actual school, I've only been going there for this week, so I can't say much. But it feels good. Feels good pretty far. That makes sense. It feels pretty good so far. It's probably what I wanted to say. Yeah, I have already started learning a lot more, and my main issue is more complicated grammar and actually properly using that grammar when I speak. I can easily, do normal conversation if I go out to a bar or whatever. But in any other kind of situation, and if I need any vocabulary that's anywhere above like basic level, yeah, it just doesn't work. But I can feel already that just going to the school and having the actual practice there, it really helps. It's a really nice small little class, so we've got a lot of like interaction time with the teachers, and it's been good, and not least of all because of the whole I actually have something to do now, so that's great. So yeah. It also means, of course, that I'm a bit more busy because I have stuff to do now. So I probably can't do super regular, fantastic, great content here. As I do want to actually focus on my studies, otherwise it's a bit of a waste having moved here and, paid for a year of schooling. So I can't really say for sure what I'm going to do in the future with the channel, but probably if you expect less regular content and probably less fancy content, well, the last 2 months haven't really been fancy content, but yeah, less regular, probably less fancy content, then you might not be as disappointed. So yeah, I do have to focus on real life things as much as I love talking to you guys. I do kind of have to focus on the other things because that's something I can actually use for something in the future. So yeah, that's the thing I will do. I'm saying the same thing over and over. This tea is really good. It's really good. The melon pie is also good. As I said before, it's like almost sickeningly sweet. Now you can see the hole in there. That's entirely maple sugary stuff, and yeah, but it's good. It's really good. But yeah, I think for now that pretty much covers like the update I wanted to give you. Just my current situation and looking forward into the future and see what's going to happen there. It's really difficult to make predictions in particular about the future, so of course that's why I can't give you any more concrete details about how stuff is going to change, but I do want to keep making updates, so it's probably going to be similar to this style rather than going out and finding fancy places. I do want to go out and find fancy places. Go out and find fancy places. It's like almost a tongue twister. I do want to go out and find fancy places. How many times do I need to say this before I get to my point? Stop it. Sometime in the future, making content that was more like what I did last year. So hopefully at some point I will actually get the chance to do that. But for now I'm going to be focusing a bit more on the actual real life commitments that I have from now on, which is a big and interesting change. So yeah, I'll leave it at this before it just ends up being me sitting here rambling for too long about stuff that doesn't really matter or saying the same things over and over again. So thank you for bearing with me, and thank you for watching this video, and thank you for joining me for tea, and I hope you did get your tea. And I will see you again at some indeterminate point in the future. Swoosh!